So what's going on, guys? This is Pickowicz and we are training chest today. So I'm going to bring you through a full chest movement. I want to show you guys how to build your chest, how to get stronger, and how to build the best you. So let's get into it. So right now we're focusing on strength. So I am starting a new power building program. The goal is to progress on the bench as our power movement for chest day. Each time we're gonna bring it up. But right now, today we're doing 5 sets of 5. 65% of our max, 75% of our max, and then 85. So now we're gonna move up from here and focus on our tight form, driving the elbows up, keeping my elbows on the inside, pushing through, but also getting that contraction in the chest. But let's hit our next step. So the biggest thing we're focusing on, like I said, is when we're driving, I don't want my elbows way out here. I don't want to be putting a lot of tension on my shoulders. The goal of a press is to be controlled, driving straight forward. So I don't want my hands way out here. I want them at a comfortable distance. But the most important thing is that my elbows are at a 45-degree angle. And as I drive, I squeeze the bar, trying to bend the bar. That's gonna make it so I have so much more torque. Everything from here, boom, boom, in. No matter how much weight you're moving, the more controlled those reps are, the more you're driving with your hands together, and the harder you squeeze your hands. My 2 cents is you need to squeeze your hands tighter. It's gonna drive the bar up, and it's gonna make it so you're pushing that weight as productively as possible. Second movement is an incline press. Now, here's what I want you guys to look at. If you're looking at your chest, it's a lot of like your quads, a lot of the same idea. You have 3 main areas that you're gonna try to target. You have your lower pec, which is your pec minor, and then you have your pec major. But your pec major also inserts into your clavicle. So a lot of times when we're pressing, we don't hit that. So what I want you to think of is while you're here, you wanna be driving your hands together and almost trying to make a diamond. Now, unfortunately, guys, they don't give me any diamonds here at Gold, so you just have to use your imagination. But what I really want you to think of is that tight contraction, each rep, squeezing out in front of you. Every rep is pushing up, driving your hands together, make it so you feel that contraction on the top of your chest, not just throwing the weight around and not using your front delt. That way, you're hitting different movements to build the chest the way you want it to, and you're not just sitting at one plane and hitting it from one angle. But now, we're gonna fly. So we're hitting chest flies for our 3rd movement, and the biggest thing you guys can notice is I'm almost standing broad. I want to think of my shoulders expanding as my chest expands. Now what I'm doing is I'm trying to stop at the top and then pull my hands through. Really trying to focus on the squeeze of my inner chest and hitting that lower part of my chest. So what I'm doing is I'm coming and bringing my hands together. It's almost like I'm doing like the whole choir thing, you know? Like there's a, all right, Batman, Mr. Freeze, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Sing, sing, come on, what are you guys doing? Anyways.
I don't know the reference.
Oh, okay. So what we're doing is we're trying to almost bring our hands together like this, keeping our chest up, shoulders back, boom. Trying to get that squeeze there, and that's how you're gonna effectively hit that lower part of the chest to get that 3rd part of the movement, making it so we're kind of pulling it all together right now. so what I want to talk to you about right now is pushing yourself. A lot of times people will come to the gym, people will come into these spaces and they think that just because they're showing up, they're getting points and that's going to help them. The thing I want you to keep in mind is that only you know how hard you're pushing. Only you have a gauge how much more you can give, and no matter what you're trying to do, whether it's you're trying to build your physique, you're building your business, you're building your relationships, you're trying to get better, you know how much you're giving to that and how much you can give. So when it comes to these sets, when it comes to these reps, everything is internal. You know how hard you're pushing and you know how much more you can give. And if you can give a little bit more, that's going to be the difference between you becoming successful in your endeavor and achieving your goal, or you falling back and just staying stagnant when you are. So when you're doing these exercises and you're doing these movements, adding more weight, pushing yourself, feeling the muscle contract, feeling that movement as it's supposed to be treated. That's the difference between you growing, you losing weight, you leaning down, or whatever your goals are. That's going to make it all the difference. Performing this movement, when you're performing the pec deck fly or any kind of dumbbell fly, what you want to think of is my hands, I should look like a crab. And what I want to do is I want to keep my hands here and come to this point. I don't want to be stretching my arms all the way out and coming like this, and I don't want to be coming off and almost using my shoulders. A lot of times people put too much weight on this, they try to act like a hero, and they end up having to use their full momentum. This is one of the only exercises that will isolate your chest. Any kind of pressing movement, you're using your shoulders, using your triceps. This is an isolation here. So stretch, squeeze. Don't worry about how much weight you move. Worry about how much of a contraction you get from this to this. And that's going to make the difference between the person who gets hurt and you being successful. The important thing about decline presses is hitting that lower part of the chest. I want to think of my chest as a spring. So as I go down, that spring's compressing. And as I get ready to hit the bottom of the rack and contract and push, that's that spring exploding. That's that contraction happening at the top. Important thing here is not allowing your hands to get too wide and let your delts take over. I want to be internal. I want to be in this little square, this little box, and driving low and feeling that contraction really in that lower part of the pec. And that's why this is called the decline pec press.
Nice.
Rope and just hold you all on a rope with my thumb and my forefinger. Did you guys know that? Amazing. After he and his fellow Olympians conquered the Titans, he and his brother split the universe between them. So let's see, Hades got the underworld, Poseidon got the sea, and Zeus got the sky. And he left the earth, the land, the humans. Until you guys showed up.
Exactly.
So you're here to get things right.
Gentle, yes.
Amazing. Everything good?
Everything's good.
It's always
feeling strong, man.
Good.
It's great.
I love it.
Yes.
Food.
It's great to be here.
Food.
It's great to be training.
Food's cool.
Yeah.
Focusing on starting more powerlifting stuff.
Cool.
I think I'm going to try to do a contest. So that was chest training. So the biggest thing that I want you guys to get from this is to focus on your reps, focus on your contraction, and focus on how each exercise pieces together to build what you're trying to accomplish. So one thing I do want to say is if you're a female and you're watching this, chest training is something that a lot of females don't think that they should do. You don't have to train like a powerlifter, you don't have to train like a bodybuilder, but doing something that develops your physique and more importantly that balances out what you're doing on your back is really important to prolonging that process of not getting hurt and building a better you. So I just want to give you the 2 cents there. But the next thing I want to say, guys, is think of each exercise as it's supposed to work with your physique, as it's supposed to work with your body. It's not random, it's not just throwing things at the wall and thinking they're going to stick. this is how you get to where you want to go. So leave your comments in the comment section below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and let us know what you're looking for, because this is a series for you. This is all about building a better you, being the best you can, and inspiring you to be a light, to help others believe in more. So I will see you guys. Boom Zeus.